everybody, it's your girl Sophia Eats Pizza. Not eating pizza, just learning how to adult one post at a time. It has been a few weeks since our last video, and for that I have no one to blame but myself because I have been slacking, I have been distracted, but just because we fell off the wagon doesn't mean that we throw the wagon away. We are getting back into it, and I am so excited because this week we are talking about something that is so important. So important. How to stop apologizing. Now, I'm not talking about stopping apologizing in the sense of not apologizing when you really do hurt someone or you make a genuine mistake, but I am talking about apologizing for we don't need to apologize. Ladies, how many times has a guy hit on you and you said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend," even though you didn't have a boyfriend? Why did you even say, "I'm sorry"? We're not doing that anymore. We are learning how to speak up at restaurants, in the workplace, with our friendships and our relationships. And not only is it a problem that we apologize for things that we don't need to, then we internally feel guilty about things that we don't even need to feel guilty about. So then we apologize even more. And you are in a circle of apologies that just make you feel like trash when you have nothing to actually apologize about. So, we are going to talk about the 5 things that we are going to stop apologizing for. Starting with number 1, stop apologizing for your voice. I think one of the most perfect examples is the workplace. So let's say that you're in a conference and everyone is just spitting things out and you're just like, "Sorry, but can I just say?" No, we are not doing that anymore, because basically what you're saying is, "Hey, I know that my voice isn't really warranted here, but can I just throw something in?" No, ma'am, we're not doing that anymore. Instead, we're going to say, "Hey, I would just like to add." There is no "sorry, but can I?" No, we're coming in with confidence, because when you apologize at the beginning as a qualifier, you're projecting insecurity. And hey, it's okay if you're insecure, it's okay if you're nervous, but speak with confidence and you will develop that confidence. It's that whole fake it till you make it. When you project as if you know what you're saying and as if you believe in what you're saying, people will respect that, people will appreciate that, and people will want to listen even more. So what we're going to start doing is to swap out "sorry, but I don't agree" with "Hey, I have a different take on this." Use your voice, make it heard. It is not what you say, it is how you say it. And if you say something with confidence and compassion, your mission and your statement will be heard so much more clearly. I talked about this at the very beginning of the video. Thing number 2, stop apologizing for not being interested. Done it before, I've seen it before, and I see it still to this day. If someone hits on you and you're not interested, you don't have to say, "Sorry, I'm just not interested." I think that there is so much more power in saying, "I appreciate it, but no thank you." Hashtag "sorry, not sorry" is out of our vocabulary. We are subbing it out with hashtag "thanks, but no thanks." I know that this is a hard one, specifically when turning down men, because for some reason, men think no means try harder, but we are going to educate them. Even though it is not our responsibility, they gonna learn. Plain and simple. We are swapping out "sorry, I'm not interested" to "thanks, I appreciate your interest, but no thank you." Thing number 3, stop apologizing for not tolerating unacceptable work or behavior. I drive one of my best friends crazy with this, but every time I go to a restaurant, if the food is cold or burnt or in any way really bad, in a way that is completely not my fault, I send it back. And I don't take it with a nasty attitude, because you don't have to be vicious when you're telling someone that the work is unacceptable, but you also don't have to apologize for other people's mistakes. When something is not your fault, it is not your responsibility to apologize for it. However, if you keep on going to the same restaurant and they always burn your food and you always send it back, that's on you, boo. Why do you keep on going to a place with poor service? Take that and apply it to everything in your life. Whether it is your relationships, whether it is your friendships, you have to speak up when people are doing things that you don't like. So from now on, we're going to swap out "sorry, but I don't like this" to "this isn't working, can we try XYZ?" Speak with confidence. But to this day, this is something that I am continuously working on. A few weeks ago, I was writing an email to a designer I was working with, and I didn't like his work. And I found myself apologizing because I didn't like his work when the reality was his work was not good. It always revolves around how you handle that situation. If you go into them and you're cursing at them and you're telling them this, that, and that, it's not a good look. It's not a good move. But you also don't have to be like, hey, I'm sorry this, I'm sorry that. No, ma'am. We are going to be blunt, we are going to be clear, and we are going to voice our opinion because it needs to be heard. It deserves to be heard. You are worthy and you deserve to let people know what your standards are. Thing number 4, stop apologizing for saying no. This is probably one of the hardest things to do because we are taught that it is selfish to say no to others. But the problem is, a lot of us aren't selfish enough, and we prioritize everybody else's needs before our own, and we get to the end of the day and we are so exhausted, but we haven't done any of the things that we wanted to do for ourselves. This is self-care. Saying no is self-care. Say no to things that you don't want to do. Say no to people who drain your energy. Say no to family members that make you feel bad about yourself. Say yes to yourself. Remember to say yes to the things that nourish your soul. And how do you know what the difference is? You have to ask yourself, is this going to bring me joy or growth or benefit me? And if you feel that you are constantly saying yes to other people, even though the things that they are asking you to do don't bring you any joy at all, you gotta put your foot down. You have to say no. And that is exactly what you need. Because when you start saying yes to yourself, then you start flourishing. You start growing in ways that you didn't even know was possible. And I'm not saying that you tell everyone to off, because that's definitely not what you want to do. Figure out what things you want to say yes to because it brings you joy, or because it's a relationship in which you feel like the other person is also saying yes all the time. And say no to the things that don't bring you joy. Say no to the things that you know you don't want to do. I am slowly learning that you don't know anyone an explanation. Be brief, be courteous, be polite, and stop apologizing for saying no. Instead of saying, sorry, but I can't, we're going to swap out, thank you for thinking of me, but it's not a fit. And when you start swapping those two out, you feel less guilty about having to say no. Because you know what? This is for me. I don't have to apologize that I put myself first. Thing number 5. This is a big one. Bear with me. Stop apologizing for literally everything. When someone bumps into you, are you the kind of person who says sorry even though they bumped into you? We ain't doing that anymore. Moving forward, I challenge you and myself to think about what we are about to say before we blurt out sorry, because when you start challenging yourself to recognize when you are internalizing guilt for things that you don't need to internalize guilt for, you can let go of that baggage. You can start showing up for yourself. Instead of saying, I'm sorry, let's offer thank you. Instead of apologizing for things that we don't genuinely need to apologize, let's apologize for the things that we do. And so the next thing that I'm going to talk about is, when do you know when to actually apologize? And to be honest, this is a hard question to answer. But it all comes down to asking yourself, have I genuinely done something that merits an apology? Did my actions directly negatively impact someone else? When you get to that point and you actually realize, you know what, I do owe an apology, that apology needs to come with an examination of your thoughts, your behaviors, your actions. And instead of just saying I'm sorry, you need to demonstrate that I'm sorry with an action. An apology means so much more when it is demonstrated with what you do instead of just what you say. As for me, I am focusing on learning to stop apologizing for believing in myself. Stop apologizing for being who I am. I don't owe anyone an apology for my existence or my confidence in myself or any of those things, and neither do you. I don't understand why, as women, we sometimes feel threatened by another woman's confidence. Another woman shining doesn't mean that I'm not shining. If you have two candles next to each other, the fact that they are both lit does not diminish the light of the other candle. Why not lift each other up? Why not take pride in your sisters who are taking pride in themselves? Never apologize for knowing your worth, and never apologize for your voice. If someone feels threatened by your confidence, that's on them, not on you. People can only meet you as far as they've met themselves. So in 2020, I look forward to owning my voice and to stop apologizing for shit that I don't need to. I believe in who I am. I believe in all of you. I am rooting for all of you. And despite the fact that we have had a very arduous 2020, I genuinely believe that we have the power to create a really amazing rest of the year. So I look forward to seeing you all again next week. I have no idea what I'm going to be talking about, so drop a suggestion if there's something that you're interested in. My whole goal here is always to talk about growth. I am on a journey of growth. By no means do I feel like I have got it all figured out, but I'm trying because I want to push myself to grow. And on my journey, I want us all to grow. Maybe some of you babes are further along than I am, or some of y'all feel like I'm all the way over here. That's fine. It doesn't matter where you are in your journey. The only thing that matters is that you continue that journey. So for the full article, head on over to the blog, sophiaeatspizza.com. I'm linking it down here below. You can follow me on Instagram at sophiaeatspizza. Also be on the lookout. I am launching a new project called Casa del Vibes. And on the website, which will be coming soon, there's going to be affirmations, yoga classes, journal sessions, meditations. And I am so excited to share the vibe with all of you. I look forward to our growth. I look forward to the remainder of 2020. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, ideas, drop it in the comment box. I will see you all next week. Bye, babes.